the biggest problems that we have in education are at some of the most well-funded like inner city schools, right? That they get extra funding to help with where they're behind. And it's not like more funding, if ever, at least rarely solves the problem, because it's misappropriated oftentimes towards like administrators, right? And I think we start to see that in Boeing, actually kind of similar to the Harvard situation, the venture capital situation. All of our big institutions are at the brink of collapse. And I don't think many people see this. Like Boeing, you want to take any guesses at what their financial situation looks like?
I'm not following.
Do you have any guesses how much debt, if any, Boeing carries?
I imagine it's a lot.
$50 billion. More. And like I was talking to my grandfather about this, because he's into aviation, and he was like, what happened? Like, how do we as a country let that happen to one of our great, corporate institutions? And then how does internally, Boeing let that happen, right? And so now they're having to sell off one of their cash cows that's actively bringing in money as like a software program for general aviation pilots. There's this application called ForeFlight. And if you have an iPad, you can download this application, and it basically allows you to do all of your flight planning. It shows you all like the local maps and airport information. And if your iPad has like a cellular connection, it'll show you your location real time. And so it's basically like a glass cockpit GPS panel, but built into your iPad as an application. And Boeing is selling that product off for $10.5 billion, so they can kind of, would it be hemorrhaging, or stop the hemorrhaging of the cash bleeding, because they had production problems with their Boeing 737s and some of their other airline aircraft. And obviously those aren't cheap to produce. And then they had a strike that was costing them, if not hundreds of millions of dollars a day, $100 million a day. And
you think the CEO's got a lot on his or her mind?
The
answer is
yes. Yeah. I mean, for sure. And I think the CEO came in relatively recently, and basically
I do remember Alan Mulally. I do know this, and he was Boeing. And he built the 777. He was CEO. I don't think he wasn't CEO. He was one of the head project guys that led for the 777. And then he left Boeing and went to Ford Motor Company and became CEO of Ford. I think he's gone now. That's all I know about Boeing. I do know about Alan Mulally's tenure. Highly respected guy. And the 777, when it came in, everybody had a TV monitor at the back of the seat, so every person had their own monitor, not just first class or whatever. And that was huge.
Yep.
I mean, I don't remember how many miles of cable, wire that they put in that aircraft so everybody could have, finger controlled, watch whatever movie they want, whatever.